An egregious rush to judgment. That's what the Baltimore Police Union is calling today's bold announcement that all 6 arresting officers in the Freddie Gray case are now facing criminal charges, from assault to murder. Ruling his death a homicide, reaction to the officer's arrest has been passionate and taken to the streets of cities across the country.
After 6 days of fiery protests following the death of Freddie Gray, the 25-year-old who died after suffering a severe injury while in police custody, today a bombshell announcement by Baltimore State Attorney Marilyn Mosby.
The findings of our comprehensive, thorough, and independent investigation, coupled with the medical examiner's determination that Mr. Gray's death was a homicide, which we received today, has led us to believe that we have probable cause to file criminal charges.
All 6 police officers who are alleged to have been involved in what the prosecutor is now saying was an illegal arrest, now facing criminal charges related to the death of Freddie Gray.
Lieutenant Rice, Officer Miller, and Officer Nero failed to establish probable cause for Mr. Gray's arrest, as no crime had been committed by Mr. Gray.
It was a show of resolve, a city signaling its readiness to act quickly after decades of accusations that officials had failed to change a culture of police use of excessive force. At the forefront, Marilyn Mosby, the daughter and granddaughter of police officers.
My recently departed and beloved grandfather was one of the founding members of the first Black police organization in Massachusetts.
Hundreds of demonstrators outside the city jail where the 6 officers were held earlier today. Reports say that after making eye contact with police, Gray ran, as seen on this surveillance video. Officers then arrested him.
Mr. Gray indicated that he could not breathe and requested an inhaler to no avail.
Gray pleaded for help, appearing in pain, struggling to walk. But he allegedly received no help from officers who dragged him into the transport vehicle.
No medical assistance was rendered or summoned for Mr. Gray at that time by any officer.
When he arrived at the police station a half hour later, he was reportedly unable to breathe. Medics rushed him to the hospital. A few days later, he slipped into a coma and later died from a severe spinal injury, now ruled a homicide.
The manner of death is believed to be the result of a fatal injury that occurred while Mr. Gray was unrestrained by a seatbelt in the custody of the Baltimore Police Department wagon.
The charges for the 6 officers range from official misconduct to manslaughter to second-degree murder.
The prosecutors basically laid out 3 phases of criminality. Number 1, arresting a guy who'd done nothing wrong. Number 2, putting him in a van in shackles in a way he never should have been put in there. And number 3, not doing anything to help him.
It's the driver of the van, Officer Caesar Goodson Jr., who will face second-degree murder charges. The police union calling the criminal charges an egregious rush to judgment.
These officers did nothing wrong.
Our client is innocent. This is ridiculous.
The news tonight providing some comfort to the Gray family.
These charges are an important step in getting justice for Freddie.
And to an embattled community.
We need to celebrate that Baltimore stood up and did what they needed to do.
In light of today's announcement, the state's attorney, Mosby, made a plea to the protesters of Baltimore.
I heard your call for no justice, no peace. Your peace is sincerely needed as I work to deliver justice on behalf of this young man. To those that are angry, hurt, or have their own experiences of injustice at the hands of police officers, I urge you to channel the energy peacefully as we prosecute this case.
This isn't the first time a Black man has pleaded for help and died while in police custody.
I can't breathe, son.
Derek Williams, arrested and cuffed in the back of a squad car, struggling to breathe, dying while under the watch of Milwaukee police. And Eric Garner, and the I Can't Breathe outrage in New York City that swept the nation. In both cases, those officers never faced criminal charges.
Black Lives Matter.
The city of Baltimore has had a troubled relationship with its police force for decades. The depiction of a black versus blue dichotomy became the center of HBO's hit show, The Wire.
Grab the wall.
Many protesters speculate that Gray's death is the result of a so-called rough ride, the phenomenon where police are alleged to take those who've been arrested on a manic drive, although Mosby did not refer to that possibility.
The officer would drive the car in an erratic manner, slamming on the brakes, causing the individual who's under arrest to strike their head either against the screen or partition separating the officer and the suspect, or along the side of the van transporting.
This is the type of police van Freddie Gray was riding in the day he sustained those fatal injuries. It's divided in half by a floor-to-ceiling barrier, creating 2 long, narrow cells with a metal bench and seatbelts along the wall. It's a van like this where the so-called rough rides are said to occur. 27-year-old Chrissy Abbott says she barely survived one of those rides, telling my colleague Pierre Thomas about what she says was her terrifying ordeal.
It was horrifying. I mean, we were bumping around. I couldn't hold on to anything. Like I said, it was just really scary.
The National Guard was in full force today, but except for a few arrests, the night is relatively calm. Baltimore's mayor using the charges to send a message today to police officers in the city.
To those of you who wish to engage in brutality, misconduct, racism, and corruption, let me be clear, there is no place in the Baltimore City Police Department for you.
But for many, the hero of the day with only 4 months on the job was Marilyn Mosby, with her powerful announcement reassuring the people of Baltimore that justice will be served.
This is a movement. This is a moment. You know, so many people feel as if they've been voiceless for so long. Let's start to focus on the real systemic issues in our country that aren't just happening in Baltimore, but are happening all across the country.